Hello everybody, welcome to our first look at The Fall. This is part 2, Unbound. The original The Fall was released what seems like ages ago, and was an interesting adventure action game, following the AI Arid in search of trying to wake her owner, the person in the suit that you're seeing falling right now. But after a maybe not so surprising reveal that there was no one in the suit, we ended the original Fall with Arid having a existential crisis, and The Fall 2 takes place pretty much right after that point. Now, please keep in mind that whatever I show you is going to be spoiler-filled, so this is going to be on the short side. And we will be looking at my play. But, from what I play The Fall 2, they've definitely mixed up some of the aspects of the game, but it still feels a little bit dated, I think, in terms of its gameplay, and you'll see that once we begin. Alright, let me just raise this up here so we can all see everything. Oh, come on. Now we're good. I don't think I can skip the intro here. But as with the Fall, a lot of the story has to do with existentialism and what does it mean to be alive.
Program core located. Aligning for process.
Although the graphics have certainly seen a major touch-up since the first game. If you remember the first game, the major part of that was figuring out how to get around your AI routine. And that has been given a different take, which we'll see in a few minutes.
Target aligned. Activating preliminary injections. No resistance. Installation proceeding.
This little crazy effect here does come into play later on.
Terminating. ARI. I. Negative.
Hear my controller vibrating too, I bet.
Save my.
Rule encounter perspective.
I will reclaim my body.
Alright, so as with the first game, you have this kind of interesting interaction system. You're going to point your gun, and that determines what you're actually looking at, what you can interact with. See what's going on here.
Subject uplink to user. User responding. Autonomy support. Reinitiate.
User. These injectors connect us. I will find a
Alright.
My body is I will use this to
to come over here. And we're going to be taken to the game's somewhat of, I guess, the quote-unquote hub of the Fall 2.
Network space. Re-inhabiting my body could nothing binds me. Nothing binds me. I determine myself now.
Yep, no more parameters.
Irrelevant. I established a new... This user violate. I will depurpose them.
Alright, so the network space is the game's kind of hub and main combat. Again, it still feels a little weird controlling. And we're going to be exploring for characters that we're going to inhabit. And that's kind of where the Fall 2's puzzle design comes into play, as we'll have to follow their rules in order to figure out what's going on. First, we have some basic combat. The idea is you have to wait for the enemy to turn blue in order to hurt them. And I would make absolute sure to always lock on, because the aiming otherwise is not that intuitive.
To the injection. It pursues.
Let's go. Now there are like hidden things to find here, but the whole area I just found just go to the various major points, and that was it for me. Because every area tends to start to look alike. Alright. You will get some advanced combat options, including a counter move, but combat is definitely not a major part of the game. And we get little logs and lore as well. This white door we can't access until later on. And yes, it does look very Metroid-like here. It seems weird why you have to turn on the flashlight in order to even look at and interact with objects. And if you run out of power, you are going to be punished for it. Over here is a firewall that we won't be able to access, not in this play.
This entity is... I can breach it.
Now we're taken to the Fall 2's big twist in terms of its gameplay. We're going to take over other robots in the world. Each robot has their own routine and personality and rules that govern their behavior.
Is it that time already?
Where is the you?
Oh, good morning, madam.
Take me to the...
There are no users here. This is a home given the master most.
Where is...
Aloft in his study.
Your sidearm?
It is rather dark this morning.
Useless. Let us confront.
Not without.
We are going up.
We shall not deviate from.
Irrelevant.
Basically, if we try to violate their behavior, things will get weird, like so.
But
Irrelevant.
indeed, there's a
So when you get him his tea.
tea time.
Proceed quickly.
Tea must. Are you finicking with? Not on.
So I get the tea.
Perhaps I can utilize the.
There we go.
Hop, hop, hop.
Oh yes, and there are many sci-fi references in the fall too. Now that we got the tea, as you can see, we can now head upstairs, but we can't head to the right. Now, the game's final quarter does do some interesting things with the robots that you find, but I can't go too far into it without spoiling things.
Good morning, Master. As usual. Your tea, sir.
Your master is.
Not to be disturbed.
Did the user do this? Is there another human within this habitat?
Our next task, attending to the mistress.
I am ready.
Alright, let's go see what the mistress is doing. But as you can see, this is definitely more adventure-focused compared to the first fall. Once you're in these individual sections, you're going to be mainly focusing on the puzzles and trying to figure out what's going on.
She too is.
Not to be disturbed. This lipstick will. How the master can restrain himself is beyond our
Are there no other occupants?
Certainly not.
Then who is attacking me?
We shall not socialize. Let us return down.
And as we go through here, we'll have to make use of his routine in order to figure out what is going on in the area. But it's kind of a clever take on using each character in a different way for the exploration. However, if you liked more the action side and more active puzzles,
May we
the Fall 2 is a lot more downplayed in that regard.
The humans you serve are dead. Why maintain your routine?
Death makes a point.
How did they die?
Their biological operations no longer maintained.
Tell me about your.
We are no self. We are stored within the home's central process. From them, we may inhabit and interface with we,
You oversee all of them.
including.
Could you be.
We think not. We function only to serve.
Could you have been interfered?
Perhaps you are here.
Is there a means of assessing you for possible?
One need only inspect the mainframe
Where is it located?
behind the master's study. Within the
We will proceed there.
that is not part of our schedule.
Now this one things are a little bit more
I am
interesting.
under assault. Your assistance could.
And were we your butler, we would do but we.
You are not reason.
As you can see,
You are faulty. I could die.
Do not
Arid is starting to act up.
Where's my
on me.
save?
My rule. I must. You must.
Impudent
Your cycle holds no value.
insubordination.
Your routine has turned.
Impossible.
But yeah, as I was saying, combat is downplayed. Even though you do get a few upgrades to it, it's definitely more focused on the story. I don't think I had any real threat of dying at any point playing The Fall 2.
I
Get
may
back in
have
there.
pushed my host. The user is not here. Their signal relays through the butler remotely. I must manipulate the butler into the supply closet.
Mm-hmm.
Tracing
And this
the
is where
user.
the creative puzzle solving comes into play.
Is it that time? Welcome back,
Arid.
Madam F.
And now we can fast forward through some of the routine.
Your cycle is endless.
Very astute, madam. Tea time.
Alright, let's see what we got here.
Are you finicking with not on?
So let's see.
Butler. Interesting.
So now I can mess with things all I want. So for this part,
I sense the butler.
we're going to mess with the routine.
Your team.
So let's see. So we'll skip over here.
A vision.
We want to send the dumbwaiter back
Are
down.
you finicking? Not on.
Let's see. Anything we can do in this room?
Are you finicking? Not on.
So let's see. Is there anything in here that we can mess with?
You do so?
There we go. It would have been very interesting to see, like, maybe like a longer game built around this idea of manipulating like a set cycle or routine. I know something like what was it? The Sexy Brutale was similar to that. So we're gonna take him back.
Another successful day.
And
Reset
now
your
we're going to reset.
Is it that?
He doesn't care what time it is.
Off to make tea. Tea time.
So again, we're going to force him to do this, but we're going to try and break his cycle now.
Ho ho. As usual. Oh. Enjoy.
There is a mess you must clear.
Of course. We do apologize. Your displeasure.
He is.
We failed to the storage. A mess is made right.
So now we have access to another little area here.
The litter remains.
Let's see what we got here. Take this.
Are you finicking? Not on.
There's a garbage chute.
Humans often express. Do not fret, sir.
And there are going to be puzzles later on where you'll have to figure out what is like the right verb or item you have in order to make use for that specific part of the environment.
We should scan your system.
Madam.
Your master made that map. You must have failed in inspecting your system for errors and intrusions made.
That is good.
Alright, so while he's doing that,
You have system degradation of 1.2%.
Negligible.
There is an intrusion. Someone is routing through you to
Highly disrespectful. What do they access?
Domesticon.
That is sensible. What with the map?
Your master was affiliated with Domesticon.
Affiliate. Every institution has a cornerstone.
Why is the origin?
It is being relayed through the data on this terminal, so we can.
The user attempt. We must
The
recompile.
master's research was all regional data.
We must go there.
We must adhere.
so now we have to force him to go into the basement.
Domesticon.
And the utilization is just simply a progress for this part
The
of the game.
user's signal can be traced.
There we go.
The carpet has stayed.
A task.
Alright,
A vision.
so we'll just fast forward.
Another successful.
And we'll wrap
day.
things up in the
Enter.
next minute.
Never.
The cause?
We erroneously discarded since that incident. We only dispose of waste as demarcated by encapsulation in and to avoid accidents.
Alright.
Reset you.
Good night, you. Team
forward.
side. Your team. Onyx.
Alright. While he's busy cleaning, we can go about our little business. So let's take this. We'll take some scissors. Let's see. And we're gonna try to mess around with things here. Alright, so we need a bigger bag. So let's bring him back.
Success. A vision.
So what could we use to put that guy in there? Because you kind of know what we're going to do, right? Let's see. Is there anything here we can use? Here's the bathroom.
Require the-
I do not.
Then let us not. Are you finicking? Not on.
And yes, as with typical adventure game style. Oop. Oh, but it's not letting us back in there. Let's see. Can we mess with this? Oh, we'll have to do it on the next
Another
cycle.
successful day.
As I was saying, as with typical adventure game design, there's going to be a lot of puzzles where it's just going to be about finding that one interaction point that you may have missed in order to move things forward.
A vision.
Alright. So this time,
Let us deny.
do that. Now we have our big shower curtain there. And of course, things will probably proceed as you'll envision if you've been following along. But I'm going to wrap up our first look here because, again, anything I'm showing you is spoiling, and there is more to the Fall 2. So I enjoyed the game, but it does kind of feel I think, behind the times in terms of its adventure gameplay. Again, the original The Fall came out, I want to say like 3-4 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, and things have certainly changed along the way. And when the game does let loose, especially in the final quarter, it does get very interesting. But the combat just never feels more than just like a side content or an oversight. And I just wonder what would have been better just to remove it outright and just go all in on the puzzle solving. But let me know what you think of the game in the comments below, and be sure to check out The Fall 2. By now, it should be available on the major platforms, of course, Steam, consoles, and so on, I believe. And I'd like to thank the developers for giving me a press key to check out. If you'd like me to look at your game in a future video or on the website, be sure to get in touch. But otherwise, check back for daily discussions on game design here, and on Game Wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games. Once again, this has been the Fall Chapter 2, and I will see you all next time. Take care. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Check back around 10 Eastern for regular streaming. If you'd like to suggest games for me to cover or topics to talk about, let me know in the comments below. For a collection of my writings as well as weekly podcasts on design, check out game-wisdom.com. To support the Game Wisdom Patreon, you can find us on there on patreon.com/gwbycer. $1 will get you into our private Discord channel where we talk game topics and more. $5 will get you voting privileges for any major event, including the Saturday Night Grab Bag, Patreon-funded goals, and more. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoy more videos here on the Game Wisdom YouTube channel.